Hi, welcome back to Cooking Life with Gosia, brought to you by Seven Oaks Senior Center in Perry Hall. Here we are back after 1 week break. Today I will show you how to make sour pickle soup, which is Zupa Ogórkowa. It's a very specific soup for Poland and very delicious with sour taste into it. So for that we'll need cucumbers in brine, which are made the same way like sauerkraut, so they don't have any vinegar. And we'll need veggies, including potatoes, cubed potatoes, some spices, and heavy whipping cream or sour cream to add to the soup at the end. I already prepared broth, so I used again some chicken pieces, and I used the vegetable broth and one box of chicken broth to add more flavor. So first I will start with our cucumbers. And the hint, you cannot put cucumbers, your pickles into soup right away because the potatoes will be very hard. So you have to cook pickles for some time separately. So I have my pot here, and I will shred them. I think I might use like 6-7 pickles. When you choose the jar with pickles in brine, choose bigger ones because it's easier to shred them. Let me put this here. If you use the whole jar of pickles, save the juice because we'll add some juice to our soup to make it sour. We don't add any vinegar and we don't add any lemon juice to it. So we all use our natural juice. And I have my last pickle. Okay. We'll use actually this to shred our vegetables. So I will leave this. Let me rinse my hands. I'll add just a little bit of water so they have something to boil in, to cook in, and we will cook them over medium heat for about 15-20 minutes until they are kind of soft. And I will heat up my broth, and now I'll cut some of my vegetables. You can use celery root. I couldn't get celery root today, so I just get celery stalks. And I just cut them into smaller pieces. And always watch your fingers. we have two more pieces. Next, I'll chop my onions. One onion. I'll just make bigger pieces. It goes all to the soup. It will be cooked. I hear something's boiling here. My pickles. So let's leave them on 4, and my broth is boiling as well. Let me lower the heat. When I finish chopping all vegetables, I will place them in a pot with my broth. Okay, now I will shred this. This is parsley root. The root vegetables are very good for soups because you can shred them, you can cut them, and then you just eat them in your soup. Like when we made just the chicken broth soup, clear chicken soup, we put all the root vegetables and then we took them out, so nothing was mixed with our soup. So the soup stayed perfectly clear. And that method will add lots of flavor to your soup too. Okay, and carrot. I'll shred my carrot too. Okay, and now we can put everything, all our veggies, into our broth. So this straight from here. And things from my bowl. One more thing we have to cut are potatoes. So I cut most of them. I just left one. You just cube them into small pieces. Like I cut them like into a few slices and then cube them. And if you do that ahead of time, you have to put them in the water so they don't get dark. Just like that. You can make bigger pieces, it's up to you, whatever you like, however you like your potatoes. In my soup, I like very smaller pieces rather than large ones. And last. Okay. Now I will drain the water. And I add my potatoes to my broth and the rest of the vegetables. So this is the first few steps we have to do. And now we bring the soup to boil, and we'll reduce the heat and simmer it for about 15 to 20 minutes until potatoes are soft. Let me check on my cucumbers. They are simmering here, and I will see you back in 15 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Our potatoes are soft and so are other vegetables, so we are ready to combine our pickles and with the rest of the soup. Just be careful, everything is so hot. And you just place it in a... Let me remove that from the heat so it's a little bit easier for me. You just add that to your soup. Okay. Let's move it back. It should start boiling soon, since it was hot already and boiling, cooking. Now we can spice it. I will add some pepper. Maybe I'll just open it here. It's really up to you how spicy you want it to be. I will add my pickle juice. I will use everything what's in a jar because I have big pot of soup. I just strain it. Now we'll bring it to boil again. I want to mix it and I want to taste it also. Let me add some of my favorite Maggi spice liquid. And let it just simmer for a few minutes. Add some salt. I already salted my broth, but I'll try if it's still salty enough. Yes, it's pretty good. Doesn't need more salt, and I can taste the pickle juice. And now let it simmer for a few minutes, and our last step will be, so the flavors combine, and our last step will be adding heavy whipping cream, or if you prefer sour cream, you can add sour cream, and at the end we'll add fresh dill and the soup will be done. Now I will talk a little bit about what we'll do next week. Next week I'm planning on showing you how to make crepes with farmer cheese. So you will need some farmer cheese, but the kind I use, it's like softer than like a black one. If you buy a black farmer cheese in the black, you have to really well grind it, so it's really soft and creamy, which is like really hard. Like this one is much softer, and all I will add to it will be like some vanilla sugar and egg yolk, and we'll just mix it together. And I'll make my crepes ahead of time, so we won't spend all the time looking how I make my crepes. Let's see how the soup is going. It's nice. So now I will add my sweet cream. And that's about enough. That's perfect amount. I hear someone's making a noise here. Our assistant Dandelion. And now I will add some dill, fresh dill. Dill will really make that soup flavor nice. And mix it. Just bring it to a boil and turn it off, and your soup is ready. Let me just bring it to boil. There it is, very fast. So I'll turn it off. That stove is magic. I'll bring my pot closer. And I also forgot to tell you, like sometimes I make mistake, I call pickle, I call cucumber, because in Poland all kinds of cucumbers are cucumbers. It doesn't matter if it's in vinegar or if it's in brine, it's still cucumber. So I just apologize for that. and some greens. And here we have our pickle soup. Zupa Ogórkowa in Polish language. Smacznego!